Welcome back to Cold Front Convos, episode number 11 of season 1 here. You got me in the England kit, Mitch in the Diggs jersey, Alex in the Bills hoodie, and Goose is always a fan of Preferred Mutual. Hashtag ad. So we'll get right
Not a sponsor yet.
Not a sponsor. So special Monday edition for this week. Coming directly off the heels of a very lackluster, still a win, but a very lackluster Bills win. So it was, what was it, 24-21 final score. Came down to a late touchdown by the Pats and an onside kick for the second week in a row that the Bills recovered. Almost didn't recover it, similar to the first one, but just not what you're hoping to see against a lower level opponent. But for a few years, I don't feel like the Bills have really played down to their opponents too much, but they certainly did yesterday.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Defensively, although beat up, we didn't play well at all. Well, we had a few turnovers late in the second half. Second half, a switch flipped, and the defense decided to play a game. Offensively, struggled all day long. I think getting open was a problem. Offensive line played decent, but yeah, I don't think it was a good win's a win, but wasn't a good one.
Yeah, they were lucky to get out of that with a win. They did not look good in any phase. I mean, like you said, Mitch, the defense turned it around in the second half, which was nice to see, but they looked out of sorts from the start of the game. And again, special teams is just killing us all the time. I mean,
special teams, special players,
special players. But I mean, they got to get. Smiley's got to be on the hot seat at this point. I mean, that's 3 weeks in a row that something's happened on special teams that probably shouldn't have happened. I mean, a fake punt where even McDermott came out and said they should have kept all their defensive players out there and try to, knowing that they'll probably go for it and scare them away from it. I mean, I think that's him calling out Smiley.
Yeah, I don't disagree there either. He even said today that Josh's comments after the game and in his interview about holding plays back, McDermott sounded very wishy-washy of that whole comment and conversation. Not too much of like, I guess you can see where Josh kind of got that from, but I don't know, we're out there to play, we need to execute kind of thing. So I think there's a lot of lackluster this whole week, or this, coming into this week. And I mean, not a lot of communication or put a lot of effort into the game plans, but
that is what it looked like. It looked like they didn't prepare for the game. I think they thought it was going to be an easier one to accomplish, but not seeing Drake, they haven't played Drake May at all. So I don't know if that factored into not knowing what he was going to do against our defense, but they didn't look like they didn't look themselves.
Yeah. Kudos to Drake May. I mean, he, and the game plan that the Pats came in with, like, for the first half, I mean, they executed and they did what they were supposed to do. I mean, our defense obviously didn't play very well, but they were executing on offense and they were moving the ball down the field, and they were just 4 or 5 yards here, 4 or 5 yards there, and then they were converting first downs and keeping Josh off the field. I mean, it was 14-0. The Bills had the ball for less than 3 minutes, and it is what it is. And really, it probably should have been more than that. But got lucky, got the big Cook run, and then the Pats are going down, and I think they ended up turning the ball over or something like that. So
there's a pick in the end zone.
Yeah, Cam Lewis got that pick. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So May did look good though. He had some really nice passes.
I mean, he didn't look very good.
Some flashes.
First half.
I think he did pretty decent going up against. I mean, beat up secondary, but still a top tier team. And it was a shootout.
Yeah, usually McDermott's pretty good against rookie quarterbacks. He really embarrasses them. And
They brought a lot of pressure and they dealt with it.
Mhm.
I think
I will say I knew he was mobile, but he did. I mean, he's not Josh, obviously, right? But he did as admirable a job as you can possibly do. He looked like Josh a few seasons ago, the way he was outrunning defenders to the point where he could then get rid of the ball. I mean, how many times did Bernard or Dorian Williams or Epinesa get loose and come through the line, and we didn't manage to get sometimes even a hit, let alone a sack? Obviously, he was running like crazy back there as in the second half. In the first half, to Goose's point too, when they were on script, those first couple drives, everything was manageable. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. He'd hit Hunter Henry or, Bodie. He had 90-something yards receiving, which doubles his personal best ever, which is kind of crazy. But we are the
to make you look
medicine
good
for whatever ails someone else. Whatever other offense is having an issue with, they do well against us typically.
I think you can see New England, probably not next year, but the year after, being a contender for the East.
I mean, if they add a few pieces on defense and they add, decent,
they need some weapons.
They need weapons.
Actually, Actually, I think Booty, he's actually supposed to have a pretty high ceiling or whatever. And there was another guy that was playing yesterday that they were talking about. I can't remember his name, but Kendrick Bourne he's not a terrible receiver. Hunter Henry's, he's kind of on the end of his career, and they have,
they'll need to fill some holes in the draft and add some depth in some positions. But probably 2 years, I think they'll be
sign a free
agent.
Somebody coming off of without Belichick there's a better chance that they spend some money on a receiver.
Well, and they have a lot of cap space.
Yeah, I was going to say that they got a lot of space to be able to sign somebody.
You need to get rid of Gerard Mayo.
Yes,
I don't think he's not the answer there.
I don't know. They're not going to do it after this year. They're not going to do it after this year. Some people were talking if he's going to get fired. I just don't see it happening, given that he's been the coach in waiting for 4 or 5 years. Like, why are you going to give him 1 season then fire him?
With not a team to put together.
With really, it's kind of interesting, that he got labeled that coach in waiting. He never actually been like a high level coordinator. I mean, he's track record. Not that he can't coach, but it's just, I don't know, just kind of interesting, but well dynamic.
Yeah. I will say, so let's talk Josh a little bit, and then I'd like to talk a couple pieces of the offense itself, but Josh, and this may circle back to what he said, you didn't see a lot of the same concepts that we've been running the last couple weeks. That could be because, they check almost every play at the line now, but they didn't seem to run the same type of stuff they ran against when they were down against the Rams or when they were playing against the Lions, right? Those, like all the mesh concepts, tons of the crossing routes, and they were in man a ton. It looked like the Patriots were.
Yeah, a single high safety.
Yeah, and we didn't do. I felt like, I could be completely wrong, obviously, but I felt like we didn't have the same success against. I mean, a decent defense, but not as good as the Rams. Well,
and they play them again in 2 weeks too. So if they do want to come out chasing the 1 seed, then they got to win out and got to be, I guess, have some plays in the bag for 2 weeks on the road.
Well, they lock in the 2. Sorry, Goose, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just commenting. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out after Wednesday. Because if the Chiefs win Wednesday, then they
Bills
block
got
the
the
1
2.
seed up.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
they
could lock in the 2 if the Chiefs
because the Steelers
win
lost.
against Steelers, right? So then you might see vanilla against the Jets, and a starter sit out against the Patriots in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I honestly would rather see us just realize we're going to be the 2. I feel like I feel like there's too many. If we're playing like that last week against New England, I just have a bad feeling that we'll not end up getting it, and we'll end up losing somebody in the process right before the playoffs.
Well, and I think 2 seed works out better for us if it's going to be against Kansas City going against Baltimore instead of us.
True.
You just got to watch Cincinnati, and if they don't, make sure they don't sneak in.
Yeah. That's the team. That's the team you definitely don't want in. I mean, they so scary on offense, and the defense is starting to play better, which is even scarier.
What is the scenario? How do they get in? Because they need to win out, and then they need a couple other teams to lose, don't they?
They need I can't remember the team in front of them.
They need the Chargers to lose.
They need the Broncos to lose too, which they play next week.
And the Chiefs also play.
Yeah.
Broncos lose out. Chargers lose out. They win out. As essentially
that's how they make it in.
Yeah, because they'll be 9-8 with tiebreaker.
And the Broncos and Bengals play Saturday. So.
Yeah, and then Chiefs and Broncos play the following to finish the season.
Following week.
The thing is, the Chiefs are most likely locked up to 1 at that point, so they're sitting people, you would think. And the Broncos still playing for a spot should win that game theoretically. But so
it depends on what happens this week on Wednesday with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So player health wise, that's why I wanted to tap on Alec. I mean, you've all hit your funny bone and you lose the feeling and the edge of your hand sometimes, or even your full hand. Obviously that ball he threw deep, supposed to be a Kincaid. That thing missed by 20 yards. Like the safety couldn't even go backwards to get it. That's how far it was out of touch. And I wonder, I think he was given a directive, Josh was, not to kind of play all out this week to save him, because how many times could he have, and he's done this year, I think too, but how many times could he have gotten a first down? He would have had to beat a guy and maybe gotten 20 yards instead of even just 5 or 7.
Yeah,
but
if you're going to do it, save it for the playoffs.
Yeah, he was throwing balls that he typically would just take off.
Yeah.
Even if there wasn't going to be contact. You know what I mean? But I noticed he wasn't, he didn't play like himself. And I don't mind the pick to Coleman, because it looked like there was contact when Josh was throwing the ball anyways. So you would hope you're getting a call there. And it worked out, the guy's on the 1, but it's essentially, you're not kicking a field goal. It's 3rd and 16. If you're not throwing the 8-yard pass, you're going to go for it, then throw it in the end zone. Right.
But my thing is, why not play for the field goal then? 3rd and 16, throw it 10, 12 yards, and then kick the field goal.
Yeah, there was no one open in that range at all. There was only one route that was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that was a design play. I mean, that's the play they picked. But I'm saying, why not? Why aren't you playing for the field goal at least? If you know you're not going to you're not going to try to get the first down, at least bring it a little bit closer and they just get the field goal.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And we got Taron Johnson. Did he end up coming back in the game?
He came back in.
He did come back in. Yeah,
he was nervous. I mean, watching the highlights of that, it looked like he was kind of out of it when they made him come off the field.
Yeah, he was flat on the ground.
Yeah.
McDermott did say today that everyone's practicing, some limited, but practicing.
That's good. I mean, if they can, like we've talked about, if they know they're the 2 or going to be the 2, then all those guys, your Milanos, your Taron Johnsons, Douglas, sit them all.
They'll all sit again.
I'll sit.
Well, and we got Milano's name mentioned out there. I'm full on bring on Dorian as the starter.
He was playing out of his mind when they came in the second half.
Yeah.
I think Spector run out. Yeah.
I don't know if it's time to move on from Matt Milano, but he is.
I thought he was
compared to what he was.
I thought he was a liability in the draft. Actually, I said that in the group text. He's a complete liability on defense. I mean, people were commenting on where he played, and he's a complete liability out there. He can only tackle with one arm. You know, he missed several tackles because he can only tackle with one arm.
Yeah, here's my thing on Milano. His ceiling is so much higher than Williams. Yeah. And I think Alex talked about it a few weeks ago. Guy hasn't played in a year and a half.
Well, Buffalo just signed a linebacker today too.
And I'm not saying that they shouldn't play him. I'm just saying they shouldn't play him right now. I don't think he's right now. I think he's a liability out there.
Yeah, I get you. I like that he's got to get back into the flow of the game. It's essential. He's played 2 games since he's been back since he hurt his groin. So he's played only 2 games in the last 20 months. You know, it's got to take a little bit for the game to slow down for him. And
I'd say sit him
concepts and
sit
stuff.
him the next 2 weeks, or put him in on obvious passing plays or coverage, off the tight end or something plays. But outside of that,
Yeah, he should
I'm
be going.
fine.
It should be a pitch count for him because I don't think he's looking like he did before his injury, which I mean was a significant injury, but like he just doesn't look himself. He's not like all over the field.
Both injuries are pretty significant.
Broke his leg in half and then tore his bicep off the ball.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Buffalo signed a linebacker today to the active roster, whatever that means. But
well, Spector's out, so they need more depth.
Yeah.
I mean, Balin Spector.
Oh yeah, he's the one. He's week to week.
I don't understand why they had Balin Spector out there if Dorian Williams was still able to play.
He's got to be doing something in practice, like recognition and stuff like that.
Rotating.
That makes McDermott think
he can do it.
He's ready. Yeah,
he's
ready.
a coverage guy. I mean, he's not a bad coverage guy. I mean, he's actually pretty decent in coverage. Spector, zone coverage and stuff like that. He's actually fairly decent in coverage. But
yeah. I don't know. It's the same reason though. People question why Elam didn't get any burn, and Elam has just been
getting torched.
So he played fairly well against Detroit, but he had some good plays against Detroit. He played fairly well. The play last week, the last game, against Pats. I mean, that first touchdown. I mean, that was a great throw. I mean, he had really good coverage.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about that.
No, but at the end of the second half, he was getting torched.
He was like, "What are you doing?"
And he 2 defensive PIs in the end zone. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, they made a goal line stand, and then he gets another defensive PI.
I felt like Jordan putting that text in there, like, what do you think about these flags? But like, it was ridiculous. Some of them, like,
well, even
we weren't even home field calls about nothing.
Well, it's bad when the announcers who don't typically, they'll sometimes even make an excuse. I don't know if that one should have been called. How many times did we hear that? I think it was 3 separate times the announcers were like
2 or at least 2.
Yeah, it's bad.
So, yeah.
Cook hit 14 touchdowns now on the season.
14. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing for a guy who now Derrick Henry has 15. No, Derrick Henry has 14. Saquon, I think, may have 15 now. But for a guy who has half the yards of Henry and half the yards of Saquon to have the same amount of touchdowns is kind of impressive. And he's been breaking long runs lately.
Yeah, he looks fast when he's going too. Like he's making guys look slow out there. It's crazy.
He hits like a second, third gear, and he just like gets an extra step or two on the guys, and he's gone.
Yeah, let's talk.
All three of their backs are
true.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any team would like the 3.
Yeah. Let's talk re-signing. You got.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
Cook, Shakir, Rousseau. There's 2 other names.
That should be on his rookie deal, though, right? Cook's still on his rookie deal.
Shakir?
Cook?
Shakir's definitely up.
They can extend all of these guys. They have the option to 1-year extensions on all those.
It would be
guys.
like the 5th year. Yeah. They'd have to be able to give them the 5th year option.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you do that with Rousseau.
Benford's the other one.
Benford,
there's one more that's a big name too.
I feel like Rousseau is going to be too expensive for us to end up signing back on. I just think what he would get in the open market is going to be way more than the Bills could afford. I think that's why you have to do the 5th-year option.
I think it's going to depend on what Buffalo does with the season.
It's going to depend on if they decide to keep Von Miller active.
Yeah, they're not going to keep. They won't keep Von past this year.
They'll free up. He'll have some dead cap, obviously, but they lose Diggs' dead cap.
Although that was coming off he was the best one on defense on the line this last week.
That's true. He was showing up this year.
This just against New England. He had 6 quarterback hurries, and I think he was in on like 4 tackles.
He had a really good game. And when he's playing well and Rousseau and or Epinesa are playing well, Oliver, then Oliver's taking 2 guys, so then one of them guys can make a play. That's essentially what it ends up being. But there's a lot of talent. I think we absolutely need to keep Shakir.
Yeah.
And I think
Benford for sure.
Benford is a definite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Douglas is
Cook
aging out. And then I think Cook is the third, but And I like Cook for what he's gotten so much better at this year. I don't know. Like you said, he's got that extra step. And I agree Davis and Johnson are great.
I'd say, yeah, they'd be
I
stupid to
still
think they
think
have
Cook's a
enough in
step
those two.
above both of them.
100%. He can catch. He's a 3-down back.
Mhm.
Shown that. So
I think he's kind of what the Bills have been trying to find in the draft. I mean, I think Ray Davis, they wanted like that hard,
Hard runner.
people run, but I think Cook is really what they've been trying to find to be able to, blow out the backfield.
So,
Yeah,
all
I
right.
mean, all of them are all going to end up getting their 5th-year option. They'll all give them their 5th-year option and stuff. It's just whether or not they're going to ask for if they want to play on that, or if they're going to, ask for an extension type of thing. So I don't think they'll do anything as far as 5th-year option, outside of 5th-year options.
Dalvin Cook keeps tweeting. Well, it's the Pro Bowl thing too. Vote for James, but $20 million a year. He keeps tweeting.
Yeah, I was going to just say, I bet you his brother's going to tell him not to take a 5th-year option and try and get the money. And that makes sense, though, because running backs,
choice.
but I mean, running backs are just, right now, the market is changing for them, too. Like, they're getting big money. They used to not be able to get much of anything. They just get dropped.
yeah,
They
but he
get
could also
sent
go to a
somewhere
team. He can also go to a team that doesn't have an
Saquon
offensive line.
Yeah,
It's true.
Saquon got what, $12.5 million a year or something. But then they just signed, the Colts just extended Jonathan Taylor, what, 18 million a year. So
that's where the market's at.
now
And now a guy
that's
who's
the market.
coming off of, he has 14. Josh had 15 last year, and OJ had 16. So if he gets 3 more TDs this year, he'll be the all-time single TD rushing or receiving winner.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
They could play 1 and 2.
Yeah, Josh is at what, 10? Yeah, because he didn't have this week.
11.
11?
Is that 11?
Oh, because of the receiving, 10 rushing and 1 receiving.
No, I think it's 11 rushing.
Either way. All right. Well, so they have the Jets. We don't at home at 1 o'clock. It stayed 1 o'clock, thankfully.
It's Sundays are so much better at 1 o'clock.
Agreed.
Yep.
Alex,
Yeah,
you won the game?
Oh, yeah. The New England game, that was cold, guys. Like, both the boys came with me, though, and Jen.
Oh, you were there? Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was cold. It's like dying there.
How'd you end up doing that? You talk to the people that are next to you that have season tickets and just
So
be like, hey, can we grab the other 2 or something?
Yeah, so I have 3, and the guy that's behind me, I asked him if I could buy one of his, and I just sat. Jen had both the boys, so I didn't really have to deal with much of it until like the second half, but which was nice. But yeah, it was a cold one. We were getting like frost on our coats and like on the gaiters you're wearing, and that it was been pretty.
Well, to think that there was people out there with no shirts on.
I don't know how you do that. That's just I mean, I'm too old to be doing something like that.
Adam and I do the cold plunge, but I mean, that's only for 6 minutes. Like that's not. And that's at 40.
Right, and that's even warmer than it is outside.
Yeah. When me and Felicia went to the Bills-Dolphins game a few years ago, the snowball game.
Yeah, that's
I think it was like 15 degrees-ish.
Actively snowing hard.
And it was, there were guys there with no shirts then too. But
that was was that the Fitzpatrick one?
Yeah, Fitz was there.
Oh, when he took his shirt off?
That's when he took his shirt off.
Yeah. He was under the heaters though, so
he was
like let's be real, that's not that bad.
I had long johns, jeans, sweatpants, coveralls, hunting pants, boots. Everything.
Oh yeah, people's beers were freezing at at the Patriots game. Got to drink it faster.
They were slushy.
Slushies.
So, all right. Around the league, couple of upsets. Outside of our pick'ems even, but you get Jalen Hurts goes down in the Eagles game with a lead,
concussion,
and then they come back and the Commanders come back. Jaden Daniels 5 touchdowns in that game, which is kind of crazy. So puts the Lions up into the 1 seed for the NFC, like pretty much locks them in.
Yeah.
Well, no, because they're playing the Vikings. The Vikings only have 2 losses too.
Yeah, you're right. I apologize.
So
If they win out,
FC
they get it.
because actually the Vikings and the Lions play the last week of the season, so should be
they're going to play for the 1 seed.
That could be potentially a game for the 1 seed. So,
And who knows how long what's his name's going to be out for?
Hurts.
Hurts, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then Kenny Pickett got hurt too, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's back up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He got
it's-
dinged up. I don't know that he's hurt, but I know he got.
Yeah, I don't know about but yeah, he had like a rib injury or something.
I don't just have Saquon back there passing the ball, you know.
Yeah. I don't like seeing
Christian
any of these
McCaffrey.
guys get hurt, but in my fantasy for the final, the guy's playing. He has Jalen Hurts, Barkley, and AJ Brown. So it hurts out. That could be beneficial for me, but
Well, and I need Barkley not to play next week because I'm going up against him in the finals. Oh, he's going to torch me.
Mitch made a big move and picked up Kyler Murray against the Panthers. And the
It didn't end up
Panthers,
terrible, but Panthers, what the hell?
they squeaked out a win against the Cardinals.
Adam, did you actually pick which? I can't remember. What team did you pick for that one? Was
It's
it the
okay,
Cardinals?
I took the Panthers.
Did you really take the Panthers?
The Panthers.
Oh,
Goose took a couple of the ones that ended up being upsets.
way to
but
go,
he
Goose.
You had to.
Took a couple of upsets that didn't end up panning.
Right.
So, you
It
win
balanced
some, you
out.
lose some. Yeah.
He got me 20 points. So,
Stupid Texans.
Texans,
Oh,
yeah.
Tank Dell's injury.
oh
Yeah,
my
that's good.
God.
I mean, I feel bad for that guy. Like, broke his leg last year, then got shot in the offseason, and now, tore his ACL and dislocated his kneecap.
His
Can
knees.
So
we-
just can't catch a break.
Can we talk about CJ Stroud?
Sure.
Mm.
Tears? What's going on, dude?
Oh, he was sobbing.
Best
man.
friend.
Oh, he's
Sobbing.
Yeah.
Sobbing.
It's his buddy.
Bawling his eyes out.
He was crying
Unreal.
harder than some of the guys
Cares.
when DeMar
He
died.
cares, Mitch.
Right.
Legitimately. Like,
Jeez.
you saw, Trey White was crying when DeMar's whole situation happened. But even Trey White was just like some tears and he was leaning out to somebody.
Well, and that's his buddy. Like I get it, but anyway, I don't know. Does he get his nails done with Caleb? What is going on? Like, it's gross. It sucks. Nobody wants to get injured like that. But
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
is he crying because his season's down the drain now? No Stephon Diggs, no Tank Dell. Like, I don't know.
Oh, they're toast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right
They're-
now, I mean, they still have the division.
So those
They should
tears
make
I
it
can
to the
understand.
playoffs.
Yeah, those tears I get. But
They're not going to be, though. If you're lucky enough to play them, the Bills somehow second round due to an upset or whatever, because
in
they
Buffalo, yeah.
do the reseed in the NFL. So if the Bills can draw those guys in the divisional round, that I would love it at home.
Oh, you worry
yeah.
about Joe Mixon running the ball.
That's all you got to worry about. Joe Mixon, Nico Collins, and Dalton Schultz. Those are the only three guys on that whole offense at that point.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I still don't like it.
I'd rather
Playoff
play
football.
them than Pittsburgh, Baltimore.
Oh yeah, for
Cincinnati,
sure. Well, yeah, and then
Chargers.
Stroud doesn't scramble like other quarterbacks do. So he's not even that big, 20, 25 yards a game max.
Yeah.
So
And then you got Tampa Bay, who choked big against Dallas.
What was going on?
fumbled, 1 minute and 26 seconds left.
What was crazy was the pitch to White.
Yeah,
And then
he
White-
was holding it out like a loaf
I
of
was
bread.
saying White was holding it like McCoy.
Yeah,
like
what
Shane
the heck
used
are
to
you
hold it.
doing? Game's on the line.
Tuck the ball, my guy.
Wow.
So
Cost me 13 grand. Oh, I didn't bet 13 grand.
Oh,
but
Jesus.
winning 13 grand.
Right.
7 for 8 on a parlay, or 6 for 7. 6 for 7.
If you have gambling issues, call this number.
yeah, 1-800 Hope NY.
Stupid.
8 Hope
Stupid.
NY.
It's rigged. It's all rigged.
Yeah,
Yep.
they did it 'cause
Vegas
of your
made a call.
13 grand.
Did
Yeah,
Mike
right.
McCarthy save his job in Dallas with that victory?
No.
I don't
I
think
I
so.
think so.
But
I
Cooper
think
Rush, though, I think is better than Dak Prescott.
No.
He-
that's
he-
that's a
in that
hot
offense,
take right there.
He's playing better than him.
It's a
He's
bad
more
take.
consistent.
No, he is not better
Yeah.
than Dak.
Uh,
Look at Dak's stats over the last 3 years.
How often has Rush played? And then offense.
Because he's been behind him.
I don't know. It's because Dak was paid.
I mean,
Look
Tampa
at
Bay's
Dak.
defense is not that great, and Dallas's defense kind of takes. And that game did really well, but Tampa Bay's just not good. So Cooper Rush
Tampa's
is going to
defense
do.
isn't bad.
It's not. It's not
I think
amazing
Dak
though.
had comparable stats to Josh last year.
Nah.
Do you know that, or are you just saying that?
No, he was like at least 4 or 5 quarterbacks behind Josh.
And it was the year
Anyways.
before, but he was.
Anyways.
Anyways,
Dak-
we're done talking about this.
Dak's trash. Dak's trash.
I don't agree with your point, Adam. We're done.
Dak's trash.
Dak has honestly been was probably one of the top best quarterbacks last year, statistically wise.
Yeah.
Dak's trash. He was terrible this year before he got hurt.
He was not doing
He was
wasn't too good this
terrible
year.
this year.
But
And no running game and no offensive line.
Can't stay healthy. He's always hurt.
Isn't Rush the third quarterback?
No.
No, he's
Trey Lance.
Oh, Trey
three.
Lance was the other one.
Yeah. I don't understand to give him a chance. Like what?
That's what I didn't understand. I said it when he got hurt.
Better than Mark
Why
Brunell.
aren't they playing Trey Lance?
Brunell.
Reps.
That's up for debate.
All right, let's go into pick'ems here. Let's move past this conversation. First one,
Dak is trash.
Christmas morning, Christmas afternoon, 1 p.m. game. Chiefs at Steelers. Kansas City are 3-point favorites. I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
I'm going to take the Steelers.
I'm taking the Steelers too.
Steelers.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
All right. Ravens at Texans. Baltimore are 5.5 point favorites. We just talked.
That's it?
Ravens.
That's it?
Yeah.
Baltimore. Yeah.
Love for the Texans to win, but I got to take Baltimore.
Like Adam was saying, I think their offense is just in such shambles right now.
If Mixon can carry a game, they can win.
Yeah.
If Mixon doesn't have 125, they're not going to win.
Yeah.
Which Baltimore's run defense is actually really good.
Pretty
Their
stout.
pass defense has been trash. So
I'm going to have to ride Kyler Murray for the rest of the year because CJ Stroud has nobody to throw the ball to.
Do you want me to quote that for you somewhere?
This is terrible.
I'm going to have to. I'm going to have
not
to
even-
ride Kyler Murray.
Oh my god. in the finals. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll say there's 1 week left. The rest of the year.
The rest of the year. Well, it's Adam this year. Yeah, this week.
It's fair.
This week.
Seahawks at Bears. Seattle are 3.5 point favorites. I'm going to go Seattle.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'll have to say Seattle on this one.
yeah, it's Seattle.
Perfect. Chargers at Patriots. Chargers are 4-point favorites. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Chargers.
Same.
Patriots.
Oh.
I think the Chargers are done. Going down.
Okay. It's a tighter spread than you would think.
I'd
would
rather.
think, but
I'd like to play the Chargers in the playoffs.
Broncos at the Bengals. Bengals are 3.5 point favorites at home.
Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals.
Bengals.
All right. Cardinals at Rams. Rams are 5.5 point favorites. I'm also going to go with the Rams there.
Rams.
I'll have to take the Rams as well.
No, they are. We'll put them in line because we don't care anymore. Jets at Bills. Bills are 10-point favorites. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, Bills. I think it'll end up being a close game.
It depends on what team plays.
Yeah, if they can figure out what their defensive identity is, I think that makes a big difference for them.
Who do you think is going to cover Devontae
Bills.
Adams or Garrett Wilson?
Benford.
Benford.
I think Benford has Adams.
Douglas if he's back.
Yeah.
I think if Elam's on Devontae Adams, we're going to see 4 PI calls.
They'll have a safety shadow.
True.
Titans at Jags. Jags are 1-point favorites.
I'm going to take the Jags.
This has got to be the most terrible game of the weekend.
Didn't they just play too?
Yeah.
That was a horrible game then.
Yeah, a week ago. I have Jags.
Yeah.
Jags all the way across.
Yeah.
All right. Panthers at Bucks. Tampa Bay's 8.5-point favorites. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay on the bounce back.
Same. Motherfuckers. I'm sorry.
Raiders. Did you say Tampa Bay, Goose?
Yeah.
Okay. Raiders at Saints. Saints are 1.5-point favorites. Both teams are terrible. I'm still going to take the Saints.
I'm going to take the Raiders. I'm taking
Saints
the Raiders on this.
The Saints are getting rocked right now on Monday Night Football, 21-0 at halftime in Green Bay. But yeah, I'll take the Raiders.
Who's at home?
Saints.
It's in Green Bay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this one, Saints, New Orleans. I thought you were talking about this game.
I'm going to take the Saints.
Yeah, in my opinion, the Saints are they both suck. But Green Bay is so much better than the Raiders. It's not even.
I think Antonio Pierce is coaching for his job, so I think he's going to kind of rally it. And given that they just got this other win, first one in 2 months, going to kind of carry over.
Got you.
My thoughts.
All right. Cowboys at Eagles. Eagles are 9.5-point favorites. We're early in the week to be picking this one because we don't know if Hurts is going to be back, but I'm still going to take the Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah. I feel like the Eagles won't be able to do this one. Barkley's probably just going to run all over the place.
Yeah, Eagles. I was like thinking, do I want to just take him? But no, Eagles.
Colts at Giants. Colts are 8-point favorites away.
Might as well just throw the count, throw the Colt symbol up there.
Yep. Big Colt symbol done.
They're going. Giants at this point are just going for the number one pick. Right now they're sitting at the number one pick, so I'm just going for it. Which
they suck. I'm betting
terrible.
defensive touchdown in that game.
Yeah.
Colts are going to have a pick six or a full recovery, guaranteed. Dolphins at Browns. Dolphins are 6.5 points favorites against Dorian Peoples-Jones, aka Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Miami can sneak in too. They're thinking in the same bubble as Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm on Miami.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Perfect. Packers at Vikings. Vikings are 1.5-point favorites. This is going to be a good game, I think, but I'm going to go Minnesota.
I'm going Packers.
I think the Packers are going to pull that out too.
I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings.
All right. Falcons at Commanders. Washington are 4-point favorites. I'm going to go Washington.
Same.
Washington.
Yeah. This was in Atlanta. I'd go with the Falcons, but go with Commanders.
Yep. And then last but not least, Monday Night Football. Lions at Niners. Lions are 3.5-point favorites. I'm going to take Detroit.
Same.
Niners.
Detroit.
Well, he sounds so.
I don't know. I think 49. It's going to be a close game.
49ers
I just think. I don't know. They played well.
Jared
They
Goff
lost to Miami,
outside.
but
Jared Goff
We'll see.
outdoors. It is in San Francisco.
I
It's not like
there was just going to
San
be 60
Francisco,
degrees.
Yeah.
not like it's in Green Bay or something.
Yeah, right.
But
Right. So, all right. Well, I will update the rankings at the conclusion of the Green Bay game tonight. Goose just said Green Bay was up 21-0. So most likely a win for them, and we all took Green Bay. So that's where we sit as far as that goes. Little bit of Christmas theme for the next topic here. Your favorite Christmas gift ever. Doesn't have to be something big and flashy. Doesn't have to be whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm going to let Goose kick us off for this one.
one of the only things that I ever remember getting as a kid is the Franklin. Actually, I just got it for Beck Sims. Those Franklin football jerseys and pants and shoulder pads and helmets.
Yeah.
And then my mom and dad also got us the lockers too, like the 4-foot lockers. And we continue to, I still remember that gift even to this day. So I was trying to find the lockers for Bexon, but I couldn't find them. So you can only find the retro ones.
I remember
get him the outfit. They'd get him the outfit. So
we had one floating around our house. I don't know who got it first, to be honest with you, but it was a Bills one with the really, the helmet that as a kid you'd throw it on and hit shit and you'd be like, oh my God, I have a concussion.
It's actually kind of funny. His helmet now that I got him actually fits me. So it's so big on him, but I could actually put it on. It's actually kind of funny.
Mitch, why don't you go next?
I really don't have one. I have a couple. Like I've gotten trips to Florida for Christmas. I've gotten different things, different memories, like guitar lessons or the lessons in the field of guitar.
Yeah.
How'd that one go? How'd that pan out?
I never got the lesson. Never got the lessons.
He got the guitar.
Yeah, so there was from my cousin. And then you got like Sega Genesis or Battle Bugs. So I don't know. I really don't have one favorite. I think different stages of my life, I had good gifts.
None of those were from your wife, I've noticed. That's tough. All right, let's slide over to Allie.
I can't talk about this. It's not rated R.
Mitch, I mean, I was going to say when I got my Sega when I was a kid, but the other thing that I got a foosball table when I was like, I don't know, like 12, and I still have it. And I'm waiting for the boys to, the youngest to grow out of his train table and then actually set that back up down in the basement. But that's probably the one thing that, my best gift that I got for Christmas.
Sweet. I've had some good ones. The one I remember being the most excited for was back in it might have been like the mid 90s, like 94, 95. I think it was like 8 or 9 years old. And I got a Deion Sanders jersey from my Aunt Renee. And it was the Dallas Cowboys, the ones with the stars on the shoulder, they're throwbacks, obviously, but they were like their third jersey back then. And that was awesome. I was a Cowboys fan in the early 90s, before they beat the Bills, but during the Super Bowls.
Come on.
No one can hear you, Mitch, because your mic's down.
I know. I can't really say it too loud.
Yeah, well, then don't say it. I know what you said, though. Not nice. Not nice. We support all. We're very inclusive on this podcast.
Very happy gentleman.
The Deion jersey was cool. And then Mitchell probably remembers this. We got a game at one point called Crossfire.
Hell yeah.
That was a lot of fun, that game.
That was a good time. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
that.
Yeah. Played that all the time. So
we should find that.
That was a good one. All right. So that's Christmas. Let's swing quickly over to the movie. Mitchell gave us Top Gun Maverick. He said in the last episode, one of those types of sequels that can even outshine the original, right?
It's at least just as good.
Right. Yeah. So I'll kick us off for this one. I have seen that movie probably 4 or 5 times since it's been out, and I've seen it countless times on TikTok. Especially when Mav jumps into the training course and all that stuff. It's constantly on there. And I've seen like the YouTube videos where like the pilots break it down, like this is real, this is what they can do. Like
our threads are too similar.
Yeah. There's Mitchell sends me stuff, I send him stuff, and we're both like, yeah, I've seen it. But very good movie. The first time I watched it, I remember like being so into it that I was like nervous. You know what I mean? Like you kind of get a little bit of the adrenaline, like the suspense actually gets you a little bit, which was kind of cool. So like I said, I've rewatched it already. It hasn't been out that long. So I'm going to give that one an 8.1. So that's my grade on it.
Nice. Very nice.
Alex?
So this is my second time watching the movie. I watched it when it first started when it was streaming, but I mean, my father-in-law used to love, like, we go to the air shows all the time, so it's kind of like a special movie to watch because we go to Niagara Falls Air Force Base, watch the, so seeing all the plane, like seeing it all is just kind of, it was a good movie to watch. But I mean, it definitely is what Mitch was saying. It puts the first one kind of, it's like in a whole nother level. But it's fun to watch. It's exciting. But I'll have to give that about an 8.
I mean, as everyone said, it's definitely comparable to the first one. I think what made it is that Tom Cruise, through his acting career, has gotten better as he's gotten older. Because a younger Tom Cruise acting, most of his movies were fairly terrible. Top Gun's obviously really good, but some of the other ones,
Days of
not
Thunder.
so much. Anyway, yeah. So this one, this was really good. I think the first time I watched it, I was on an airplane. I was flying somewhere. I don't know where I was going, but it was really
Inverted.
inverted. Yeah. Yeah, I would probably go with that like 7-8 range. It's a really good movie, easy to watch. Can watch it over and over and over and over again. No problem.
Perfect. Mitch?
For me, I'm very much similar to like what Adam said. I was nervous the first time I saw it in the movie. I have surround sound right behind my recliner, so like when they're flying in that mission, it's crazy, the subwoofer and everything. So it was really cool. Didn't see it in theaters, but really like it. I'm a big Top Gun fan overall, including the first movie. But so it's high up there on my list, probably top 8 for me in all-time movies. So I'm going to give it an 8.6.
I think we have a new leader. If we don't, we're probably close. So, all right. Well, it's updated on the screen, as you can see. Whose pick is it this time? Is it mine? Oh, it's Goose's.
I don't know.
Okay.
I got this. So I'm gonna pick a holiday themed movie that I'm sure we've all seen a bunch of times.
Home Alone.
What?
Nothing. Home Alone.
No. It is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I just watched it today.
It's a good one. Yeah, I watched that. I watched that wrapping some presents, so I'll watch it again.
I figured. Yeah. Well, I figured either we have all watched it, already this year, and we've already watched it, or we're definitely all going to watch it all over again. So
Yeah, I'll be on.
I'm sure we
Yes,
can
that
actually
one
all.
makes me
I'm sure we
marathon
can all just. I'm sure we could all just sit here and rate it right now without watching it. But,
Should have went Red One. It's the new movie.
I've heard it was terrible.
I liked it.
seen it.
I liked it. It's decent. I think it's pretty good.
Sweet. And then that puts me after that one, I think, then, right?
Yeah, you're after Goose.
Okay. I got my pick already made for that one, so we'll be in a good spot.
Forrest Gump.
Close, though.
Off the cuff.
Day.
Forrest Gump.
I was thinking Lieutenant Dan in New Year's Eve.
No, Forrest Gump is close for a completely different reason, and you won't understand it probably until I say the movie later.
Cool Runnings.
Next week. Yeah, Forrest Gump. Cool Runnings. Feel the rhythm.
Feel the right.
All right.
Time. Cool Runnings.
Well,
All right, guys. Have a wonderful holiday.
that's it for us.
You too.
Go
Merry
Bills.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Go Bills.